Now, listen, you guys, it seems like Doja Cat's son is not only biting off her sound, but she is also biting the antics. Because tell me why that video is actually circulating right now. And unfortunately, the Barbs are still falling for the bait. We're also going to be discussing about Bongo 2, Maggie. Maggie has failed to debut in the Billboard Hot 100, and Flomilli is getting criticized for performing Postpartum. And we're also going to be discussing about Beyonce and these tipping, things that were being told that, well, she's tipping in thousands. Now, these are some of the things that we will be discussing in this video. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great, you guys. I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. First of all, let us talk about this entire situation with Doechii and Law. So there is a video that is circulating on the internet, and it is of Doechii and Law singing along to Nicki Minaj's Itty Bitty Piggy in the Market. Get up. Oh my God, I cannot help myself. I just find myself singing each time I try to say the name of the song. So yeah, they were basically dancing along to that song. And for some reason, some Barbs are celebrating. They are saying that, well, this is Doechii showing love to Nicki Minaj. And, there are always those Doechii fans that always mask as the Barbs. They have the Nicki Minaj profile, but when you look at majority of their tweets, it's just them defending Doechii left, right, and center. That does happen for those of you who do not know. And so when you as a Barb see another Barb saying that we've always told you that Doechii has always loved Nicki Minaj, of course you would think, especially if you're a group thinker, you'll be like, oh wow, it seems like everybody else is saying this, so let's go with this. So now that's what the narrative is on the streets. They are now saying that, well, Doechii is actually, in fact, a massive fan of Nicki Minaj, and she's not disrespectful to Nicki Minaj. And I guess that means that the Barbs should be supporting Doechii. That's exactly the point of them, releasing that video. And I would also be questioning the source of that video, because allegedly that did happen 2 days ago, but somehow it's only circulating now, which has people questioning, okay, does it mean that they want people to run up something? Is there music that she put out? Is there something that they want supported and stuff like that? And then another interesting thing that I saw in Pedro's comment section, somebody said that do not fall for it. I asked her yesterday on live when people were barely commenting if she'd ever collab with Nicki Minaj, and she changed my words to, would you ever collab with Megan? I swear to God. Okay, you guys know that yesterday I did a video and I was talking about, Doechii talking about collaborating with Megan. Well, this person is coming forward saying that in actual fact, no one asked her about collaborating with Megan. I did see some people in comment sections before this comment saying that, well, when it comes to the collaboration with Megan, nobody asked her that. But this entire version of her changing the Nicki to Megan thing kind of makes me look at her like, if she indeed did that, that would be very weird. And I hope the Barbs that do support us do so because they love their music, but they're not doing it, assuming that, well, this woman is out there supporting Nicki Minaj as well. Like I always say, supporting someone because you love their music is different than supporting somebody because you do think that, well, they're showing respect to one of your favorite artists. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this entire situation. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, still talking about the same person. Yesterday, there's another video that was circulating on the internet of, fans waiting outside for her and all of these things. And people noticed how kind of she knew the side to go and the person to go to. And people were like, this was so staged. I mean, she's not the first person to use paid actors to act as fans, for paid actors to stand outside and wait for her, she's not the first one. I mean, Blake was recently, called out for the same thing, and Ryan as well, I believe. Like, people do that in Hollywood a lot. But people are like, wow, her acting is so poor. It doesn't even look believable. Clearly, as soon as she stepped out of there, she knew exactly where she was going. She knew exactly whose, whose sign she was going to sign. But I'm just like, listen, she's not the first one to do it. So let's see if that's going to actually work and translate into sales, because of course you need to to be able to transform that hype into actual hype. That PR hype, you need to be able to convert it into actual hype. Those PR fans, you need to convert them into actual in actual fans. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about this shenanigans. Moving on to the next thing that we are going to be talking about, we're going to talk about Bongo 2. Now, Bongo 2 has failed to debut in the Billboard Hot 100 for her song Whenever. And you guys do know that the song had an entire video. And, the hotties, I don't know where the hotties are. And this is the beef that I have with the hotties. I don't have any other beef with you guys. But my beef is I will always find you in my comment section right now. But when your favorite songs are doing like this, like are performing this way, I don't want to see you. You've got bigger fish to fry. Go stream a song. Go buy a song. I dislike it when you guys mislead these girls. You are out here fighting left, right, and center, firefighting and doing all of these things and making these girls believe that you actually are here to support them, when in actuality, you're just here to support anybody, to fake support anybody that seems to go against Nicki Minaj, and you hype them up just to leave them high and dry. I don't like it. So if I catch you and you're a hottie in the comment section, you better hit my Instagram with your receipts that you bought the song or something. Without that, I'm not entertaining any of the hotties that try to come on here saying, oh, Megan is so good. If you want to talk on this comment section, if you want me to not delete your comment in this comment section, first go to my Instagram, send me your proof that you're truly supporting this girl, then we can start talking. I'm just joking, you guys, but you get the point. Now, still speaking about the female rap girlies, Flomilli recently gave birth. Congratulations to her for that. However, the discussion is about her recent performance, as people feel like this is not a good thing. I mean, I do know that some of her fans felt like, well, this is just proof that she's such a hardworking woman. But some people feel like, listen, this is not a good look. 9 days postpartum, you're already on stage shaking your behind. Some people also do feel like it's a testament of how wild the economy is, as some people feel like, well, it is being done because of financial obligations. And so I don't know, you guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Do you think that this is a good thing to be promoted, for someone to be shaking they are behind with their uterus fluids still flowing down? You guys, I'm just saying anything. I don't even know if after 9 days there's still anything that's coming out there. And by the way, I last did anything related to sciences when I was like, 10? So I don't understand biology at all, you guys. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about, we are hearing, our sources are telling us, no, not our sources, random people on the internet are telling us that Beyonce is such an amazing person because she's out there tipping in thousands. And this particular person is very impressed. And they also say that, well, Beyonce is very quiet in person. You get to see who she is. Oh my God, she's so amazing. Rock Nation tipped 10,000. So, it was, they were feeling it. I mean, if I were to be tipped 10,000, I would also be celebrating like this. So I get it. But let me insert what this lady had to say, and then I'll catch you guys after that.
Have you guys ever wondered how much Beyonce tips? So she brought out our private dining room during Super Bowl, when Super Bowl was in Vegas, because I work in Vegas. And they tipped, it was Beyonce, Jay-Z, Julius was there too, and like Rock Nation, right? They tipped $10,000 on top of the gratuity that was already associated with that room. So I think in total it was like $13,000. I also have to say, Beyonce is so quiet. you know, when she's off stage, you know, off camera, all of that. She's so quiet, and not quiet in like a rude way, not quiet in like I'm better than you way. Just like she's just very like, you could tell it's like it's a quiet confidence about her. And it's when you work in restaurants, when you work places where celebrities visit, you get to see sides of them that they don't show online, good and bad, right? And when you meet people who, like, I have listened to Beyonce since I was a child, right? So like meeting her and then seeing her interact with like the servers and the busboys and all of that, and like it's moments like that where you really like solidify like this is a good person. Even like Keith Lee, he came into my restaurant, I think his bill was like $450, and he tipped $450. And like those like moments of like affirmation for like people's character, it means a lot. Even though it's like such a small thing for like these big celebrities to do, it really shows a lot about them.
Well, there you heard that, you guys. Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Candace Owens is out there chewing up and eating up the galleys, okay? Because she's out there calling out the H culture, okay? She's reading the H's down, basically saying that, well, they are the ones that are causing every bad thing that is happening, from global warming to drought and to the panorama to malaria. I'm just joking, but you know Candace doesn't like them etches, okay? Candace Owens does not like the etches, and she's calling them out one by one. So I will insert what Candace had to say about Amber Rose and the H culture and all of these things, but I don't think that I'm going to be coming back. And if you can tell, you guys, my life is just complicated. I highly think that at some point in my life, especially during high school, I might have damaged my brain, because I don't know if I can call myself a nerd, but I was just too much into books, into reading, into studying things that shouldn't have concerned me. And that's when I developed this headache, you guys, this migraine. That's when I developed it. So I don't know. Like, I really don't know at this point, but the tea's still going to be saved. And until my next one, see you.
Eyes of the whole movement, which I've been a beneficiary of, so I don't want to clown it too much. But please tell me about your views on not home records, just.
I'm so glad you asked me this question, because I am a hoologist. I've done academic research into the matter.
That's my favorite part of you, the hoologist.
Yes, the hoologist. I genuinely am fascinated by it. The mind of a fascinating to me.
Me too.
Like, it's just, I can't look away. I remember when I went on the Whatever podcast and I was sitting with three just beside myself, you know.
Wait, you did a podcast with?
Yeah. Could you imagine? So
No.
There's this podcast called the Whatever podcast, and it's just a guy, and he just will pick three hosts. What do you do for a living? And I'm a prostitute, and then they go to the next girl.
How'd you get there?
I'm an OnlyFans model. This is the whole point of the show. Then he just throws in like one conservative in the mix. And
Oh God.
at first, when a person wanted me to go on the show, I was like, I don't want to sit in a room and listen to 3 hours.
Oh, that's the best.
I am so glad I went, because it was the closest I was like Steve Irwin. I was like, let me get a little bit closer. Like, I
Rest in peace.
I was not worthy. Like, I couldn't believe it. Anyways, I'm fascinated by, I am fascinated by just how quickly we have arrived at this stage, which is a apocalypse. It's a apocalypse now. Like, it is, everybody is.
You don't think there's always been?
No, not in this way. No. People are competing to be the biggest. Something tripped over. I actually, with my academic research, I tried to look at the moment where things got really crazy. It was around 2015. Like, something, I'm not saying that exists before, but I mean something switched up where it was like, not only like, because before, if you're you weren't like proud, like the pride that they have in being a part of the Hodum is fascinating to me, right? Something changed. Where if you were a prostitute back in the day, it was something that brought you shame, and you were maybe doing this to make ends meet. Now it's like, no, they are proud of being prostitutes. They are proud of going out to the highest bidder. And so I'm fascinated by it. And something happened in 2015. Amber Walk's march was a moment, I would say. It was a moment.
Okay.
When the like, not only we're marching and we're proud to be topless and we're here to stay. And I was amazed by this hurricane of that landed very, very suddenly in Los Angeles. And I think that was a moment. And then there was also this weird thing where like Kim Kardashian and Emily Ratajkowski like teamed up on Chloe Grace Moretz. She was at the time like a 19-year-old teenager, and she was, Kim did her like weird, she's like, LOL, nothing to wear, and she was like fully naked on Twitter, and this teenage girl who's like a very like, I'm not as well known as Kim Kardashian, but she was like, don't you think that you should tell girls that we can be more? And Kim went at her, and then all on Kim's side, and they just dunked on this teenager. Like, they were in their 30s. Amber Rose jumps in, like it was a hoe, right? Going after a teenager, and they were like, no, we're here now. Like, we are spiking the ball on people that have morals, right? And I'm fascinated by it. And
do you not think hoes have morals?
Obviously, if you are selling yourself to the highest bidder, you are not morally aspirational, right? Your moral is money. Right? Your moral is money. That is a main component of that you do it because there's a revenue. And so you're willing to do that. I mean, I've done a lot of research. I sat down with a prostitute on my show and working through her mentality. I was asking her, what about your son? And you could see she didn't want to talk about it. I was like, how do you think it feels for him when his friends can book his mom? Right? Just like want to walk through that. And yeah, it's about,
What did she say?
She was like, his friends, he doesn't care. I was like, nobody listening believes you right now. Nobody believes that your son, and we already know how teenage boys are and what he's gonna go through, because you're not just being you're a proud people to know your name, right? To know that you offer services, and these are the services, here's how much you have to pay. So there's a lot to unpack there.
You follow the money in all of the topics.
I do.
I like that about you, but it's interesting to know. I don't know, are you able to put it aside ever?
Well, to understand what motivates people to debase themselves and become so outwardly and obviously immoral, and then they get defensive because they know. At the end of the day, you can lie to the whole world, but you're the truth. You will die yourself. You go to bed, you know it's bullshit. And this is why I say, even about jumping back, you could tell everybody, I'm a woman, use the right pronouns. You're a grown man. When you go to bed at night, in the back of your head, you're like, bro, I'm not a woman. This is a joke, right? So you will either the truth, but that's why they're so desperate for people to affirm them in their immorality, is because they hope that if enough people lie to them, then the lie will become the truth. And I'm just always gonna be a brick wall with that, right? So yes, being a hoe is immoral. Sleeping with people's husbands is immoral. Just because you're Ariana Grande and you make a ton of money doesn't make you not immoral, right? Everything you've done has been despicable. And people should call you out on that. If they wanna listen to your music and bop to it, fine. Whitney Houston's better. Like, it is what it is. But have created an environment which is even more astonishing. They're not doing this for women. Of course not. What you just said, I benefited from the hodom. Can a woman stand up and say that they benefited from the availability of?
Say yes.
No, they can't. You have benefited. Men have benefited.
No, I think that women can say that.
The ones that are selling their bodies can and saying I'm making money, but the ones that have morals and want to date a man that has morals and want to come together and raise children are now having to deal with the fact that these women at the end of the day are porn, trying to dress it up. It's only whatever. You're a porn star by another name. And is a major ill in our society, and men are struggling with this. I talk about show and the amount of men that go, thank you for even being willing to take on this topic, because it's everywhere. Even we've now edited ourselves where we don't even appreciate or recognize that it's all soft. Look at a Gucci bag and women are half naked. Why? Can you not sell this bag without, I don't understand this. So is a cancer. It's a cancer on the mind. There have been so many psychological experiments to what it does to people when they're introduced to it too young. I actually thought it was an act of bravery when Ye spoke about his struggle with, because men don't normally talk about it. Yeah.
And I think a lot of men struggle with this because it's
and they shouldn't be ashamed.
It's right in our face.
Yeah.
But that kind of ties into the whole movement. I think you hit some of that on the head with your Kim Kardashian talk. But Instagram, period. I do remember when it was for pictures. People would wake up and take pictures of the sun rising and, hey, this is what I ate today. I remember that in 09-ish. And I also remember the influx, not even the influx, but the basketball wives joining Instagram. And then the pictures became, you know, very luxurious. It was courtside, it was bags, it was jewelry, it was trips. It was all these things that are attractive to women. And I think that one of the ways to get in that game is flesh and to show it. And then we've seen the rise from that. That's all they use Instagram for. And now it's a soft.
And guys are biologically wired. So why I always want men to hear, don't be ashamed about having that conversation, because how unfair. Men are biologically wired differently to women. Everything that surrounds them is tempting them with this addiction, right? And then you'll have women on the other side of that talking about men and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we are the biggest perpetuators of our women, okay? And then he cheated on me. Men ain't shit. Guys, you know, there's a yin and a yang here, and we have weakened men. We continue to weaken men. Women continue to weaken men, because that ultimately does. It weakens men. It does. And the people that are making the money off it know it. They know that. They know it's weird. But it's thought of. There are people that are Machiavellian, thinking about, how do I weaken this person and turn him to a slave of his desires, right?
Eyes.
Okay?